Hey, what's going on, guys? So, what we're gonna do? I got 8:27, so we got 3 minutes or so, and just let everybody know if you're watching this on recording, you can still let everybody know that it's something that they can watch that is going to help them to get themselves into a better position. We're going to be talking about cash flow management. We're going to be talking about business income, and we're going to be talking about investment income. All in about 20 minutes or so, we'll be done. Okay. And so then after that, we're going to do a little training for those who want to stay around so they can see exactly how to build your purpose. All right. And that's what we want to do. We want to show you how to build your purpose. All right.
Hey, my name is Antonio Bonner, and I'm owner at Gold Credit Suite. Give my testimony in regard to the Finance Suite. I purchased the Finance Suite probably 3 weeks ago, and it's really an eye opener. I logged into the system to plug my information in. I got to the part where we put my number in, and it took a red flag says a cell phone. And then I looked around and saw me instructions on how to apply for a real business number. So I finally got in contact with Ring Central, got me a 1-800 number. Then I got to the part where it's talking about 411, and I had no idea how to plug my number to 411 and follow the instructions. I got everything completed. And I'm now on the step that getting my number registered with Dun & Bradstreet. So I'm currently in process. And hopefully a week or two now I'll be approved for vendor cards, man. And so far the Finance Suite has been more than I expected. Thank you.
My name is Cheryl Reisner with SR Business Resources. I'm located in Shreveport, Louisiana. I was a bank lender in the past, and I thought I knew all about the financing and funding options available for businesses. I even went through the bank loan process when I got ready to purchase an existing business. I found out that the process was very tedious, the paperwork required was extensive, and it took months to complete the whole process. After that experience, I learned that there are a lot of different funding options available for businesses, but most business owners don't know how to get the money. I was very excited to learn about the Business Finance Suite and the process of building business credit for my business where I could get even more money than I could ever get before. I believe that the Business Finance Suite has opened up possibilities for my business in the future that I never could have imagined, and that every business owner can benefit from owning the Business Finance Suite. It will change the way you do business.
All right. So as you can see, it's really simple what we're trying to do, right? You're trying to get yourself to a position of better, whatever that better is. You feel like there is something that is pulling you. You have a purpose. This purpose may be for the time being. It may be simple financial success, right? It may be how to create an extra two, three, four, $500 a month for my household. How to get my credit right? So those individual things that could be what your purpose is for right now, right? And so there's of us that are maybe looking to get into a home, whether it's the next home or your first home or an investment home. And then there's others that already have a particular business that we're operating, whether this is a nonprofit or a for-profit, whatever it may be, right? You still have this opportunity by understanding cash flow management, business income, and an investment income. It's not much that you're going to have to produce. You're just going to have to be that person that says, hey, I'm focused on doing what I want to do. And then you shut everything down so that you can become the best you or the real you. And that's what we're here to do. That the real you, real university, it just simply stands for renewing excellence, advancing leadership, REAL. Our goal is to help you get into that next home, right? Get into the business, because generally you have a challenge with your credit, or is something in the arena of how to qualify for the home, right? Whatever it may be, it's something that you can help yourself to get done, right? Because there's no reason to go without when you can get the education, information, and everything that you need to get yourself where you want to be. Just like a friend of mine, Mr. Nick Woodard, and I'm going to show you, let him talk to you a little bit about what he did and how he got started in the beginning by just increasing cash flow, getting better credit, right? So that he can do better things with his home.
Hey, what's going on, family? It's yours truly, Nick Woodard, checking in with you. Another amazing day. Hey, real quick, I want to just share my personal testimony on how MyEcon, the personal financial success company, has helped change me and my family's life, right? So before MyEcon, I was living not even paycheck to paycheck. I was living getting paid Friday to being broke on Monday, right? I had credit cards maxed out. I was in debt up to my neck and was clueless about money. So I was introduced to this opportunity by my personal mentor, Mr. Terrence Hill, the founder of the Financial Blueprint Academy, because we believe in giving people a financial peace of mind, right? And he shared this information with me, and based off the first strategy when it comes to cash flow management, I was able to legally adjust my W-4 form as well as my wife's, and we income shifted an extra $700 back into our household each and every month, right? And we took the new cash flow and put it towards our debt. And up to today's date, we have snowballed over $50,000 in debt at the government's expense, right? And on top of that, we have actually cash flowed just over $100,000 by applying these strategies. So I encourage each and every one of you to reach out to anyone you hear who is talking about personal financial success representing My Econ, because we're all about changing lives and we want to welcome you to the financial journey. Have a blessed one. Peace.
All right. So let's say, for instance, what is your particular business? We have people out there that are right now that are plugging in. There are people out there that are doing various things. And so it doesn't matter what it is that you're attempting to do, what it is that you are wanting to become. Like I said, if it's just a few $100s that you want in order to get yourself to a better position. If it's something that you want to increase so that your child can go to college, maybe you just need a little bit more, right? Maybe, as I said, it takes just about $500 extra a month to save most people from losing their homes, right? So what is it that we're trying to do? Then there's those of us that are out there that are looking to create, 6 figures from home, right? So where are you within that particular framework, okay? What is it that you're trying to do? And whatever it is that you're trying to do, there's just simple things that everybody has to do throughout this process. See, what they have you doing because of this internet age, right? They have you looking for everything that is a tactic, which what I mean is this. You're going around and you're looking for the next thing that you can do that's going to make you money, right? This over here that they're doing this. So I'm going to make money by doing this. What we want to do is show you that you already have it within you and also within your budget. If you would just understand how to increase the present cash flow that you have, right? And so we're all looking for 2 things. That's all. We're trying to increase our cash flow so we can have a great current lifestyle. We're trying to increase our cash flow or our assets so that we can have a future lifestyle, because we're not going to always want to work, right? And so that's what we want to do. And let me show you exactly how that works. So if you give me a second or two, let me see who is plugging in out there. Good stuff. D-Was, nice to meet you again, rather. Nice to see you out here. Man, just coming aboard. Actually, has built a home from scratch and is doing a very good job with that. So we're coming in, going to show them how to create and maneuver a couple of things with the finances as well. Of course, long time, Shantae Lattimore, long time person has always been here, always been supporting. So welcome, Shantae out of Simpsonville, South Carolina. And another new individual, Michelle Barnett. Welcome. Out in Simpsonville, is a wonderful person that does wonderful work with woodwork. And guys, you should be you should be on the lookout for what's getting ready to happen there. Okay, so welcome, Michelle. Welcome, Mr. Turner. Of course, Mr. Corey is doing some big things out there in Greenville, working on a couple of houses right now on the real estate side, and also putting together some things that you guys will see coming out here shortly. Okay, so welcome, Mr. Corey out of Greenville, South Carolina. And as well, welcome, Miss McMorris, Yashika McMorris, a longtime supporter as well, and one of our biggest producers. All right. So what you want to do is also, Miss One, there we go. John Watts, JR, which is, like I said, always is knocking things out, is producing like a madman, and should be closing a couple of things in a couple of weeks or so. So we also have Mr. Dre out of Simpsonville, South Kakalaki as well. So it's a lovely thing to see everybody and the team and the family, start to becoming the things that they seriously desire to become, right? All we have to do is just simply focus, 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 right? What is it I want to be the most, right? And then say, okay, hey, let me see and look at that majority of the time. So let me look at the goal that I'm going toward majority of the times, not let me look at what's missing, right? So also welcome, Miss Penn, welcome. And also out of Greenville, South Kakalaki, right? Also Miss Sharon Avon as well. Welcome out of Simpsonville, South Kakalaki. So guys, we want to continue to doing what we're doing, which is simply creating a better us. As we are creating a better us, we participate in group economics on various things if you desire. And then as those things are going on, you're creating a better lifestyle by increasing cash flow, by working and decreasing taxes. So tell you what, let's just take a look at that, right? And then we'll jump back into what it is, because I want to show you more than just talking about it. Okay. So give me a couple of seconds here. I'm going to log in to what we call our financial blueprint maker, right? This is a piece of software that those of you that are continuing to go on and getting your life into organization, right? You're going to be using this particular software for your person and for your business, right? And when you're doing these things, this is going to allow you to have the things that you desire, right? You're going to be able to see where you're going, right? Who out here would try to go to a place that they've never been before? Let's say you're heading out to Maine, right? And you've never gone there before. Would you try to do it without a GPS, right? Would you try to do that without an actual blueprint, right? Or knowing where you're going? And so that's what we're going to show you, exactly a blueprint that's going to be amazing to show you everyone. All right, let's see. Okay, here it is. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen here shortly. Let me make sure. There it is. Enlarge that there. Turn music down just a little bit. And I hope you guys are taking, as they say, copious notes or plenty of notes, because if you're trying to get into a home, right, there's a couple of things that you have to know, which is you have to have at least an understanding that they're only going to allow you to spend on your home no more than 25% to sometimes 40%, depends on the loan, of your gross income. So if you're bringing in $4,000 a month, 25% of that, right, or a quarter of that is $1,000. And that also has to pay for your taxes, and it has to pay for your insurance, okay, as well as your premium or your payments, okay? So when you think about it like that, then a lot of times when we say, hey, I want to grab this type of house, but we got to know how to make ourselves look better on paper so that we can afford that type of home. Or if you're wanting to retire, how much money does it take for you to retire like you want to retire, right? So let's find out. This is what we call our cash flow strategist, right? And this particular piece of software is amazing. So I want you to be thinking, and I'm just going to name this Michael, okay? But let's say name it business. Okay, so as we are working with this, your goal, let me see if this is anything I can do to increase. No. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that okay. If not, you can stretch it out or whatever it is that you're needing to do. Okay, so what is it that what's your biggest goal? Because I don't want you or anyone out there saying, I want to achieve this right here, but you don't have a plan, you don't have a blueprint. And so it's been my goal to walk you through the steps as we've been signing up, setting ourselves up in the personal credit repair position, uploading everything in there, right? And also getting ourselves in a position of notating that if I'm going to be a CEO of my own life, then there's a position that I have to take. This position that I have to take for a period of time is a president, right? Not just the CEO, but you got to be the accountant, right? So when you're doing this, the best way to keep up with the things that's going on is to have a blueprint. So the biggest thing that somebody may want to do is, as you're looking at the top 5 goals here that we want you to think about, right? You may want to say, for time's sake, we're just going to put random numbers in here, right? Out of 5, okay? One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So as you go through this particular piece, you're going to be able to say, okay, what is it that is most beneficial for me, right? So I'm trying to spend more time with my family. If that's the case, then you have to spend less time now, because you have to get to a position to where you're no longer exchanging the hours on that you have, right? The time that you have alive, you got to exchange that time for somebody's money, right? On a job, you exchange that time for dollars, right? For every hour that you give them, they give you $20, right? Or if you have a particular, you're a 1099 person. So every time you get through with your week's worth of work, they pay you $1,000, right? So it's things that are included with that, so that you can understand how to best maximize what you have. So that way we can be better for us, and also the generational wealth that we're trying to transfer, because we don't want our family, our loved ones, our cousins, or our children, no matter who it is, right, to live or have to come up and jump over the hurdles that we had to come up. Right. And so let's look at this. Okay. And this works for, I don't care who you are. If you are, anywhere from 18, like I say, to 81, right? This will help you get yourself a blueprint. What's the least amount of money that you can have at retirement? What's this that you want to do? Are you saying that you want to have a 6-figure lifestyle at retirement, which is what, like round off to like $8,000-9,000 a month? Right. So let's look at that. Let's put $8,000 a month, right? And you might say, Michael, I'm good. I don't need that much retirement. Well, great. I want you to look at this as well, and let's reduce this a little bit just to show everybody what is the potential. Okay. So let's say you want to retire and you want to have a consistent $5,000 a month coming in the first of the month, no matter what you do, no matter if you do any work or not, right? That's called passive and residual income. Okay. Asset building. Right. That's why we focus on what we focus on. But I've been trying to get some people to that end goal, but we don't have the middle ingredients. Right. So the middle ingredients are personal development. How do you think about a thing? Right. What do you say when things are going down? What do you say when things are going up? How do you speak on others? Right. What is it that all those things are the seeds that you're sowing in your life? Right. So those are our mental seeds. Right? How do you think? Then how do you think causes what you do. And if you don't think accordingly to do a plan, then you do everything sporadically, right? And you just say, I hope this happens. I hope this happens. And this happens over here. If this don't happen, no, everything's going to fall apart, right? So we want to know exactly what's happening with our lives. So what year do you plan to retire? It is now 2023, right? So let's think about it. If you are 20 years old, where do you want to retire? If you are 50 years old, right? How much longer do you want to work, right? So what is it that you want to do? So let's put in here another, let's say 10 years, 2033, right? So if anybody is listening right now, there is no reason why you cannot retire in 10 years. If you're 18, you can retire by 28. My first retirement was at 26. My second retirement was at 38. Right. And each one of those is reflective of a market downfall. Right. So that's what I want to show you, that it does not take age to retire. It takes what? It takes assets to retire, right? So how much of the number three, how much of your monthly retirement income do you expect to receive from social insecurity, right? Because it's not longest. To be honest, right? Social security is no longer going to be there. If you're coming up right now, if you're younger than me at 50 or younger, don't plan on having social security. They're already saying, when I saw my last report, not that I put into Social Security because I've been self-employed for so long, but I saw that those that are trying to get Social Security, it's already at 75%. It's already projected what you were going to get, what they thought you were going to get at 100%. They're already saying, because of all this stuff that's happened, it's already projected at 75%. They've already taken your money. And they're not telling you they're going to give it back to you. They're just saying, hey, it's gone, and you're not going to get 25% of it, no matter what you did, right? So how much of your monthly income are you going to be receiving from Social Security? Most people are looking from $200, $300 to maybe $700, $800. So let's say $500, $550 a month is what we're looking to receive, right? So the approximate value of the portfolio that you have now, the average person has in their 401k about $37,000, right? And just think about it, right? How long could we live on that amount of money, okay? And if you think about it, the rule of 72, if you have $40,000 in your account, if you have $100,000 in your account, and you're receiving 3% on your money, right? The rule of 72 says divide 3 into 72, see what you get. That's how long it's going to take your money to double. So let's imagine, let's say 2%, because a lot of people are not getting 2% in their CDs. They're not getting 2% in some 401ks are not getting a net of 2%, right? And so if that's the case, 2 into 72 is 36. So it takes 36 years for your money to double at 2%. So you can do that along the line. So let's say 72, and let's say you're making 8%. And that's what we want to show you, how to get 8 or better on your returns, okay? So if you're getting 8%, that means every 9 years, 8 to 72, every 9 years, your money doubles. See, that's how you can think about what's happening. You can look at your returns on your 401k and say, this is not going to be enough. But you can see what's going to happen. You don't have to wonder about how the market's going to go, okay? So the approximate value of portfolio now, we're going to put $37,000 in there, right? And then how much money do you currently invest in long-term savings? Most don't have it. Most are doing robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? So we don't have enough to invest. So, because right now I talked to some about investing, and it's so tight that they're needing the return. I understand, right? So we have to get to a place to where we are investing the extracurricular, right? We have to get to a place to where we have a blueprint to where we have extra cash flow, okay? So how much money do we invest right now in long term? Let's just put 0. Okay, because I want to make it as realistic as possible. How much money additional can you invest into long-term savings? Can you pull an extra $25 a week out? Most people can't. I talk to people about lots of different things, and I say, okay, hey, would be $40 a month. A lot of times that's not. It's too much, right? Because I understand at some point in time I wasn't able to do $20 a month because everything was taken. I didn't have enough money at the end of the month, right? So how much additional can you do? 0, okay? Now, how much money do you have set aside for emergencies? Most don't have that, 0. How do you feel you currently have a plan in place to accomplish? Do you feel like you have a plan in place to accomplish your goal? If not, keep listening, watch, take notes. See, this will help you get that house, do the business that you like, create the nonprofit. See, you will have a plan in place. Once you do this, then you can do a business plan. Then you have personal credit in place. Then you have business credit in place. And along the way, you're helping other people to do the same things, which creates for you additional streams of income. That's as simple as it is, okay? So let's imagine we got creditors, one in which that is a balance owed of $5,000 on a credit card. Minimum payment is $200, okay? And let's add one to there. It's a creditor 2. because now we want to include our debt, right? What is the debt that we have? Because when we take away the debt, then we have extra cash flow, right? So we have to do things in order, as the scripture says, in decent or decently and in order, right? So you're looking for, let's say I got a car, and that's $12,000 that I own it, and it's $420 a month, okay? And then let's say we have a home that we are wanting to pay off, and let's say I have $85,000 spent on the home, okay? And payments on that is, let's say, $650 a month, okay? So now we have that listed. Also, our goal is, number one, find out what cash flow do we already have access to, right? If we increase our credit rating, then we're going to pay less money in interest, right? Then we're going to get what? Less payments, so less money is leaving our household. That's why we get better credit. If you can save yourself $5,000-$10,000 a year by having better credit, why not take the $250 and get your credit done, or the $40 a month and get your credit done and stay, right? Why not just take the time and get that done? Or do we want to continue losing? Right? So it's the actions that we need to take, because we believe the actions are going to get us to the end goal, right? So now we want to do what? We want to pay the debt down, because that's going to give us extra cash flow. We want to reduce the expenses that we have. So we say internet service, right? And then that current monthly cost, let's say it's $300. That's internet and cable, right? So let's say we can do something, reduce that to $200, okay? So now we've saved ourselves $100, okay? So now let's say another thing, we have cell phone bill, right? Let's say for some reason, we have so many different things, and a single user, you have a $250 bill. So say we can decrease that to $175, okay? See, as we're doing these things, this is going to put us in a position of what? Increasing cash flow. This is called your already money system. See, we go out and we get a second job. We go out and sell things that we have no desire to sell. There's nothing wrong with selling things, but we sell things we have no desire to do because we want to have the income, right? So what we can do is reduce the expenses, right? Have better investments, right? Do better things with our present cash flow, so we don't spend overly, okay? So now we want to save what we've done. And what have we done? We found out, when do we want to retire? How much money we want to retire with? What is it going to take for that to happen? And then how much debt do we have to pay down? All right. And then any expenses that we can possibly reduce. So we're going to put that into the mix. Now we're going to make this cake, right? Save and return to our list. Okay. And so now we want to go to the B section of this particular cash flow strategy. So now what is it going to do? It's going to show us where we are, right? So as you can see here at the top, it says rate of return used in this summary is 8%, right? So our goal is to make sure that you're making at least 8% return on what you're investing in, okay? So we may have to look at that and see, okay, where's your money? What's your 401k doing? What's your 403b doing? What is that? What is it? TSP, right? Let's look at it and see what's going on. Okay, so let's see what we put in. Our goal is to have $5,000 a month retirement, right? That's after no working. It's every first of the month we have it coming in without doing anything extra, right? We want to create assets where we do something one time and it creates money for us additionally every month, right? So projected monthly dollar amount that will be provided by company pension and Social Security, $550 a month, right? So we're saying Social Security or your pension is really not going to be there, because most of the times pensions don't even really exist. They really don't do those much more, right? Social Security, like I said, it's really declining. If it's there, it's not really that much that you're going to be able to depend on. Ask anybody. Why do we have Walmart individuals, working at the door, elderlies? Why do we have them at McDonald's? If you look at it, you don't even see them at McDonald's and stuff anymore. They don't even do the elderly over there anymore because they have, they can't even afford it, right? So it's becoming rough if you don't take care of your own, right? So number 3, what is the projected net dollar amount needed to reach your desired retirement income goal? If it's just saying, hey, $5,000 minus $550, that means I need an extra $4,450, right? Simple. Because I already got $550 coming in, right? So what we did was we said, hey, what does that look like? Number 4 says total assets needed to provide desired monthly income goal at 8% return on investment. Okay, so this means that you need to have $667,500. Okay, by the time you retire, by the time this date hits, you need to have this amount. So let's imagine if you said, I want to have a 6-figure lifestyle. So let's imagine you said as 10,000 that I wanted a month. Says I want to travel more. I want to do whatever. So 10,000 a month, double. So this would need to be $1.3 million that you would need to have. So where are you now in your investments and in your savings? Are you at 20,000, 200,000, right? Where are you now? If you don't know that, that's even worse, right? Because now you don't have a starting point. So let's see, where are you now with your savings? So you want to do and what? Create your own blueprint. So now let's see what we need to do. The projected value of the assets, remember we said to had 37,000 in an account already. So what we did, we said, hey, this 37 that you have, we're going to show you how to move it over here and make at least 8%. So that 37 by the retirement date became $82,000, right? Roughly. So what does that mean? That means now I can subtract a little bit and I only need $585,000, right? So imagine if I'm 40 years old and I look at my account. Imagine if I'm 30 years old and I look at my account and I say, man, this is at $20,000. And then I see my returns are 6%, right? So that means every 12 years, my money is going to double, right? Rule of 72, 6%, 6 into 72 is 12, right? 12 times 6, right? So every 12 years, my money doubles. So if I'm 30 and I have 40,000, I forgot what I said. If I got $40,000 and I'm 30 and my money doubles every 12 years, then in 36 years, I'm only going to have 40 plus 40. That'll give me 80, all right? And then another 40, that's 120,000. 120,000 in 36 years. So we thinking that, hey, I got this working, but really, what is it going to become? All right. So now let's look at the freedom goal, right? Because we see we need $585,000. And we see that what we have is no match is going to get there. So now this is going to tell you how much you need to do over and above what you already have coming in. If you already have coming in, let's say, for instance, you're making $5,000 a month now, right? You're working hard. You're doing what it needs to do. You're making $5,000 a month. But you don't have enough to do the things that you need to do, let alone have money to take out of that 5,000 to put into some type of savings. So how in the world are you going to magnify to get to your point, to get to your savings, to get to the point to where you can comfortably retire? Why is it that we have, I know several people, at least two, I say that, they've retired from Michelin, and one of them retired from BMW, right? And now they're doing what? They're sitting with others to make extra income. We got to see it. We got to teach it. We got to get away from what we see, the Instagram stuff, and thinking that that overnight stuff is going to happen. All of a sudden, we're going to be this, that, and the other. Right? So if we plan it, then we can still become the overnight success, right? Because we have a plan, okay? So now we know we need $3,199 over and above what you're already making every month. And you say, Mike, how in the world? I'm making $5. It's hard enough to make this $5, this $4, this $2. How am I going to make an extra $3,100? That's why you're here today, right? That's why you're here today. So I want you to, if you're out there listening, drop a 1 out there if you see that you need a plan to get yourself to the next level, right? Not saying that you're not already working on something, but you can see that, hey, I need something that's in writing, something that's going to show me, something that's going to say, hey, when I hit this number, that's when I'm going to get my goal, right? So once you do that, you know, I need to create an extra 3,100, 3,200. What can I do to do that? That's why you're here today, right? We're going to show you what to do. That's why you're tuning in tonight, right? You're watching this on a recording, right? So you can see step 1 is business income. Remember, we have 3 things we work with. Cash flow, what we're doing now, right? Cash flow management, increasing that cash flow. Then business income. That's the second step, right? So business income, that's the second wealth strategy. So step 1 is business income listed here. I don't want to confuse you. So step 1, as we see here, we're only saying that assume cash flow created by business income. We're just saying an extra $100 a month. We're not saying go out there and create an extra $1,000. We're not saying go out there and create extra $10,000. We're saying we're going to estimate an extra $100 a month. What is that going to do for you, right? Let's look at it. Then we're going to do work with our taxes. Because Uncle Sam right now, if you're a regular worker, then he's going into your pocket 30% every time you get paid. If you get paid $50,000 a year, you're only bringing home $35,000. That's just taxes. That's not saying that the rest of the stuff that's been taken out, a vacation or your savings for that, or anything on the health related side, right? Whatever those things are, right? Wouldn't you be better if you could have that extra 15 coming back to you? Wouldn't you be better if you could have a 30% raise, right? And then you do better with that money. So step 2 is increasing your money that you're getting back by decreasing your taxes, right? So we're saying that by decreasing your taxes, by visiting your W-4, right? Some people say, hey, I'm going to increase it by just doing 9, doing 12, doing 6, right? And without a justification for increase is inviting Uncle Sam for an audit, right? Because now you have no proof of why you increased what you did. But if you have a small business, a home-based business, and you say, I have it, and this is why I am doing these deductions, then Uncle Sam says, hey, excellent, you did exactly what I wanted you to do, right? So we're going to say if you adjust your taxes, you're just getting an extra $250 a month. I know a couple that got an extra $1,100. I know a single person that got an extra $500 a month by decreasing the taxes, okay? So see what we're doing, we're increasing by working with what we have first, okay? Then we come to minimize the expenses, okay? We got an extra $175 by doing that, right? So as we pull all of this together, we have increased, if you may bring it to the top, we have increased our cash flow by $525 a month. We adjusted our W-4 where we were getting, $500 a week that we were getting paid. Now we're getting the whole 500, right? Instead of getting 320 or 350 or whatever that is, right? See, if you're getting a 1099, now you get the whole 1,000. Now have to worry about Uncle Sam coming back later asking for 50%, not 30. 50, because you're self-employed. You got all kinds of stuff happening, if you don't have a protection of what you have, right? So we want to do that, and we want to adjust. That increases our cash flow. Then we work on our personal credit. We go home, right? We look on our online. We log into our back offices, right? And we see what's happening with our credit. We're working on it individually. We're working on it. If you have paid or you're part of our initial credit repair process, then you just log in and see the processes. And please look out for your emails, because sometimes there are things missing, but we can't move your credit if there's things missing, right? So pay attention to that. But what we're doing is doing all of those things just to increase our cash flow. See, what we do though, we've been taught to go get that second job, go get that. Now we don't have no time for the family, and the second job didn't do anything but help us to meet the deficit that was caused by the taxes. Now we can't even spend time now with the family, and we're not going to have the time later to spend with the family either, because we haven't created any assets. You see? So let's do what we know to do. Now we know better, right? So let's look at it. We're going to debt snowball your debt, right? We're going to put this snowball, we want to put the snowball effect on this debt, right? So it's going to say, hey, on the first one, $5,000, you are paying $200. You're going to add the $525 to the $200. We increased our stuff by $525. We're not going to go spend it on a trip. We're not going to go spend it. Now we can get a new car. We're not going to spend it on and put it in a mattress. No, we're going to put it on the first level of debt. So now we're going to pay $725 instead of $200, right? So now it takes 7 months. That thing is paid off, right? We're done with that particular debt in 7 months. Done. So now guess what? We got a whole $725 to apply to the situation. Now we were paying $420 on the $12,000 car, right? Now we send in $1145, right? So now in 11 months, we paid that off. Right. And what do? Did we take more time with this second job? Are we making plates at home? Are we selling things that we really have no desire to sell just because we think that we need the extra money? We know that we need the extra money, right? No, we are comfortably made a plan, and we execute the plan. We don't do the things that's going to pull us away from the plan. We don't, there's no reason for me to be out there doing X amount of things that's away from this plan, right? So now every dollar has a destination, okay? So we got the new $1145. We put this to the $650. Now we pay $1795 on the $85,000 remaining on the house. In 48 months, 4 years, we paid off $85,000, right? So now we've taken $102,000 and we paid it off in 66 months, right? What's 12 times, what's that? 12 times 5 is 60, right? So if that's the case, we did a little bit over 5 years. That's amazing. That's something that most people don't do in their lifetime. So we're completely debt-free by 2028. Now, what is that? Right? The time was going to pass anyway. What were you doing 5 years ago? Thank you. Right. So now we're going to take this new $1795 that we created, right? Now we have an extra $1795. Remember, our goal was to get an extra $31.99, right? So we're marching up to that goal. See, now we got an additional $1795. Okay. And see, what we'll be doing is working with you hand in hand so that throughout this 5-year period of time, we add additional what? Business income. So now we go back. We say, okay, hey, what's your plan for the business? Do you have a marketing plan? Do you have a business plan? Do you have a plan to get clients? Do you have a plan to increase and scale once you start getting your clients? What's your website? Right. So all of these things we start lining up, so that you'll know exactly what to do. And then you would take the $1795, right? And the additional, so by now you will have $3,200, okay? Because let's imagine, let's say this is $1,800, we'll round it up. And to get to $3,200, right, what's that? Let's say another $1,700 would put us at 34. So what's that? Another $1,500 or so, round up a bit. So another $1,500 a month is all that's needed, okay? And so now look what happens. You have $37,000 that you started with, right? So now as you go through, you're debt free in 2028. You got more to put into it. So now that's at $57,366. You're like, well, not much has changed here. So now watch what we call the greatest invention of mankind. right? And that's the mag interest, right? And that's you got compound interest. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so 62,000 now it's grown to 84,000, 84,000, 113,000, right? So by the year 2042, you got $728,000, right? And see, this is what you wanted to do. Now, why is it that you can see that the estimate missed the goal, right? Because our goal was to have a 2033, but at 2033, you had $217,000, right? So now when you look at this, you say, hey, I wanted to retire in 10 years. If I need to retire at 10 years, I need to start increasing my activity, right? And so this activity may be group investing, group economics, right? Getting yourself to a place to where your personal credit can qualify at 640 or better, so that you can qualify, right, for the different investment opportunities. Or you may get to a point to where, you know, you're doing things to where you're helping others with their personal credits. And now you create a business around personal credit, or a business around helping people get into homes, or just whatever it is that you need to help individuals with, right? You simply point them to us. We help them. You make the profit. You continue to work on yourself, right? Get your mind right, so that you know when you wake up in the morning, you're doing A, B, C, D. And then when you get through with that, you move over here. And see, nobody should be able to take you off of your post, so that you say, hey, I need this amount of time to execute my plan. And then when you execute that particular plan, because guess what? You were born alone. And when you leave here, you're not taking anything with you, right? So therefore, it's up to you in the middle to do the same work, right? So now we look here, we just follow the steps. 2058, $3.3 million. You see what I'm saying? And so now all we have to do is increase the dollar. Let's imagine that you start investing in properties, or whatever this, or your business that you're working on, whatever it is, you do that and you start to see, I'll make this $3,000 a month. Now I only need $3,000 a month for basic expenses. So everything above $3,000, I'm going to put over here in this investment account. So now it starts to increase. So let's imagine now you're getting an extra $4,000 a month coming in from various investments. So now let's take it back and we can look at what that would be. So we're going to put that here, and let's imagine that we say how much money currently invested long term, how much additional can we do? Let's say we put $4,000 a month. Let's see what happens. Now, what happened here? 2031, you have, congratulations, you have achieved financial freedom. You have now started at 2023 with $37,000. By 2031, it has increased to $723,000 by just getting an extra $4,000 a month, right, above what your estimate was. Okay, so all you're working on. See, they say it all the time. People say, hey, you have a lot. I've seen people make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, this is not happening for them. That's not compound. They get it to be to keep up with the Joneses. They get it, and I've done this. I've had the cars, I've had the houses, and I'm, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what position you place those things in. So when you get yourself in line, then you can see, okay, I can get this, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's okay with having things. The things that can't have you. You see what I'm saying? What are you without the things? You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, regardless if I'm driving, a bucket, right, or a Rolls Royce, it don't make this difference. I'm still me, right? So what you got to be is the same thing. So it can't bother you. Then you can see clearly what you need to produce. So as you see here, it's very easy to do, but the beautiful thing is that it is easy to do, But the horror about that, it is also easy not to do. We can wake up every morning and say, man, I got to work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and I ain't going to do nothing because when I get off, I'm going to go have a hangout. I want to get off, I want to go do this. So, we put away the delayed gratification, right? Because we want to have the right now pleasure. You see what I'm saying? And see, that ends up being a position to where you can no longer have the pleasure later because time is only a finite thing, right? We only have a little bit of time. Right? So as you see here, you follow the process and you can have everything that you are desiring. It doesn't take what they've said that it takes. Okay. It doesn't take what they've said it takes. You see? And what I mean by that is this. You have those that get on and they say, okay, I got the Benz, I got the Beamer, I got the Maybach, I got the even the pastors that are doing this crazy stuff. They got the $8 million house, right? They got just all of these different things, and the goal is to help the community. How can you do that when you're paying $20,000 a month on your mortgage alone, right? When that $20,000 a month can be used to help to feed the poor, the elderly, right? And see, that's exactly what we're turning around and we're doing, right? We have through Ms. McMorris and a couple others, but Ms. McMorris secured it, right? So now we're feeding the elderly and also the children out in the Spartanburg area, right? And also in the Lawrence area, okay? And so now we're going to spread that out into the Georgia area, into wherever you are, right? Because under Real University, our goal is group economics to those who want to participate. Excuse me, why is that? Because you don't have the time, right? And you want to create this with your life. And when you want to create this with your life, right? Then you got to understand to be able to duplicate yourself in some form or fashion. And the only way to duplicate yourself is to have your money to make more money. Because you only have just you, right? So if you're going to think you're going to have 24 hours and this 24 hours is enough to do this line that you got going over here, this particular investment that you got going over here, this particular function that you're working on over here, and you don't have a calendar to say this amount of time that I'm spending on these individual things. This is why our minds attack us, right? Because there's confusion. But when you give your mind a solid way to say, okay, hey, in this area, let's say, for instance, spirituality, right? This is where I am mentally, right? How do I think? Am I positive? Am I negative? There's no neutral. Either you're positive or you're negative, right? If you're not going in a positive way, then that means you're standing still, which means that things are passing you. You see what I'm saying? So you always got to be going in a positive way. So mentally, where am I? Do I read on a consistent basis? What is the amount of things that's going into my mind? So am I spending this amount of time on what? What am I spending that amount of time on? Think about it. We talk about the Jeff Bezos, right? We talk about the Magic Johnsons. We talk about all the individuals that we can think of that are successful. And then these individuals write books on what they did to become successful. Then we see those things and we neglect to open the book, right? So we have individuals that say, I've succeeded in real estate. I've succeeded in healthcare, skin and nutrition businesses. I've succeeded in mobile notary. I've succeeded, whatever your things are, right? And if there's no success, right? Because you got to look at it and say, okay, if there's no successor, then your success is not able to be quantified. You see what I'm saying? So when you leave here, nobody knows what you did. That's what I mean by the success sword. Something that follows the success that you left behind, right? So when you have that desire of creating that, whatever that is with your life, we do it, and we have a coach, right? We say spiritually, we have the particular head of our particular religion or whatever that is, right? Then we have mentally, some of us will go get a coach, right? We'll go get a personal development coach. We'll understand that we think wrong, right? And we'll start to work on that. Then we want to go physical. So we'll get a physical coach, right? But what do you do when no one is looking? When that coach is not watching you, what is it that you do? And see, that's what makes the successful person, right? You have a plan, right? So that's what I wanted to do, is put that down there and show you. Welcome, Ms. Ursula. Welcome. Good to have you. So I wanted to, show you guys that it's a possibility. So welcome, little bro. So as you guys are doing these things, we talk on a mass level. That's why we meet on Thursdays. And so this meeting on Thursdays, number one, is to train you to show up for yourself, to get yourself in a habit, to show up, to get something better than what you've been looking at that's gotten you to where you are, right? We want to get the new ingredients to make a better cake, right? So now we want to execute these steps, right? So now we start to plug in, as the different Thursdays, we start to plug in on the website. Plugging in on the website, we start to look and say, okay, hey, how do I get myself registered? Let me click this link. Let me click that link. Let me see where it goes. It says the communities. Okay, let me click that. Okay, course. Let me see and that's why people charge $10,000, $12,000, $5,000, right? Because they know that without that investment, typically you will not invest the time. So when I'm saying, guys, this is an opportunity to grab hold, to bring others in, to say, hey, this is something that we can glean off of, to help one another to travel, right? So as individuals are becoming better, now this person has better personal credit, you got better business credit, and we're going in as a unit. So as we're growing, we're grabbing this house, we're grabbing that house. It doesn't take a long amount of time to secure properties, because like say, for instance, we have individuals that come in and say, hey, let's say Diwa, right? It already has the houses and the house and brought to the table, as well as woman, Corey as well, right? Has a particular investment, brought it to the table, right? And then also has the various ingredients, which is credit, reserves, or the different things that goes in. So now that process can move. And guess what? The individual pieces that may be missing, now we have individuals that are already have succeeded in the financing arena, right? We have others that have succeeded in the reserves arena. We have, Shante Watts. We have Miss McMorris, right? We have John, right? So these individuals that are already here, that are already moving, you know what I'm saying? Now they are getting their personal credit, business credit in place. So now the individuals that are coming in with their different investments, guess what? Now we can then reinvest as we get the personal credit, right? Now you got 20,000 for your personal credit. Now we go over to the business credit side. Now you got the 40,000. You see, along the way though, you're taking care of individual bills, right? So you're taking the first and you get $10,000 with your personal credit. So now you take this 10 and you move it and you according to your personal blueprint. So now you're going to take this 10,000 and you may have a car that you got to pay off. So you pay off a car and it's got $1,500. Boom, take that and you pay that off. So now you've consolidated things, right? So now you're working on your personal credit. You're paying things ahead of time. So now your credit is growing, right? We have Michelle Barnett also came to the table with excellent credit, right? So now these things we start to pull in and we start to maneuver, and now we start to grab properties, and now we can move quicker. So now as we do these things, now you got this person here growing, this person here growing, this person here growing, and now we've accumulated $500,000 between 6 individuals. So now we're going to get 5 houses, boom, and now we just turn those. Now we got individuals over here that could get qualified for FHA or in-buying, right? Or the retail part, right? And so now we have a part that we can maneuver this home over into. And then we turn this home over to Section 8, to sober living, to various different transitional places, right? Whatever it is that we need to do that now creates this house into a asset. But along the way, we've done our cash flow management. We are notating our write-offs on a weekly basis, daily basis, whatever helps, right? So now we're not losing money. We've adjusted our W-4. We're reaching out to our family, friends, and neighbors, letting them know, hey, guys, you don't have to let Uncle Sam take 30%. Guys, you don't have to have bad credit. Guys, you don't have to pay full price for the home. Guys, you don't have to pay full price for the car. Guys, see what I'm saying? We reach out and say, because we have a passion to see that others are being helped, because we don't have to reach out and say, hey, I got something to sell you in order for me to make money so that I can do the things that I want to do. We can say, I got a thing that's going to help you reach your purpose. You see what I'm saying? So let me get down from there, because my goal is to see you succeed. And if I don't say as a particular coach and say, okay, hey, do this, and if you don't, this is going to happen. Then we have people that will say, point the finger. It's, you see what I'm saying? So I don't want you to do anything but succeed, right? So if you do the things necessary, if you don't have the access to your blueprint strategist, right? That simply means that you don't have your My Econ membership. You haven't been exposed to that just yet, because over the last 2-3 weeks, a lot of people have come aboard to show the steps first, and then we want to show them how to use the tools, then get the tools, right? So guys, that's been it. Take it, run with it, do the things necessary to make sure that you succeed. It doesn't take what you think that it takes to succeed. If you're getting income or assets in of $4,000 a month, and you reduce your income, your expenses to $2,000 a month, you are retired. That's as simple as it is. Keep your expenses low as you can, increase your assets over the expenses, and sit down. Let's do it, guys. All right. So that's what I want to show you guys tonight. If you have not, go back and see, the replays, see how to get yourself into the credit, see how to get yourself into the courses, into the community, right? All you got to do is just right here on this YouTube channel right here, you can see the replays, and we can go and you can be the person that you want to be, right? Because as I've heard before, that is as a man thinks in his heart, right? And this is what you consistently think about all the time. This is what you're going to become. If you say, Mike, I want to create a business because I can save my family, or I can make this money, or whatever it is, if you consistently think about the lack, why something hasn't happened, what will happen if this happens, that those negative things are going to be consistently attracted to your life. So no matter if you do get a win, the curse is going to come and take that win away from you, because you still have not changed the way that you think, right? So as a man thinketh in his heart, then so is he, right? So you guys have a good one. I'll see you on the other side of purpose, because this side is too easy. This is where everybody else is relaxing and laying in the pool. Y'all have a good one. Peace.